auto-generated captions may have
So a
some
verdict
typos.
is in. They've just announced that they have a verdict. So I am currently recording myself on my iMac and watching Emily D. Baker, who is streaming. She's about to stream it. So on my YouTube channel, I will post myself watching Emily watching the results of the verdict. The sentencing will not be today. It will be another time. And as Emily just pointed out, the families will have the time to have an impact statement where they will get to say how they've been impacted by this, and that will go towards sentencing. So I'm going to pause this one, and I will be back when they're back. Oh my God, they're back. Hold on. Let me unmute Emily.
Wait, I don't have sound. Hold on. We are going on the record for the verdict. And my sound is in the left. Please, streaming is dynamic. That's a fail. That's totally.
State of Florida versus Sarah.
Okay, we're going to go 1.25.
Yes, sure. Half the state. William J. for the state.
Defense.
We're going 1.25 until we're live.
Mr. Harris is not going to be here.
Okay, all right. Ms. Boone is seated at counsel's table, wearing the same clothing from this morning.
There we go.
Yes, Mr. Beck.
Judge, they've got her in chains, and they've got her in the ankle handcuffs, so she can't go anywhere. I'm just asking, we would like to rise during the jury coming in.
When the jury comes in, they want her unshackled.
The handcuffs and the waist chain.
I don't know if they want to unshackle her for verdict.
In case there's something wrong with the verdict form, or there's an issue, which sometimes happens, but that's my position.
Okay. I've been advised by the sheriff that during the reading of the verdict, due to Ms. Boone's status as an inmate, their leg irons and the cuffs are to be attached.
She's going to stay seated.
That's fine.
Mr. Beck's going to stay seated.
I would ask for us all to remain seated, and could you remind everybody in the gallery
Yes.
That there should be no emotional
I
reactions.
was just about to address that, sir. Thank you very
Everyone
much.
remain seated.
All right,
That's
members
fair.
of the jury.
Bring the jury. Bring the jury.
All right. That's them buzzing for the jury.
Oh my God.
We are live in real time, and we are.
Members of the jury, you may be seated. Thank you.
This will probably go pretty fast. The court
Members
will
of our
review the
jury,
verdict
good evening.
forms.
I understand that you've come to a verdict in this case.
Yes.
If you could please hand
they all said
the
yes.
verdict form to the deputy, please.
I imagine he'll poll this jury. Did you hear numerous voices say yes?
Thank you, sir.
The court
Madam Clerk,
will
if you could
review,
please publish the verdict.
and she's going to read it right now.
Oh my God.
Circuit Court of the Ninth Judicial Circuit in Orange County, Florida, case number 2020 CF 2603, the state of Florida versus Sarah Boone. Verdict. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of murder in the second degree.
Guilty, count
as
one.
charged in the information.
And that's that.
So say we all, dated at Orlando, Orange County, Florida, on this 25th day of October 2024. The form has been signed by the foreperson.
Sarah
Madam
Boone,
Clerk,
guilty,
please
count
poll
one.
our jury.
And now they'll be
Jury
polled.
seat number 1, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes, it is.
Jury seat number 2, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes, it is.
Jury seat number 3, is this your true and
Yes, it
correct
is.
verdict? Jury seat number 4, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Jury seat number 5, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Jury seat number 6, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
That
Members of our jury,
was
again,
pissed.
I want to thank you for
Did you
your
hear
time,
him?
your sacrifice,
Yes, it
and
is.
your attention in this matter. I know that we spent almost 2 weeks together,
We're gonna run
and
that
it was
back
not
later.
taken
That juror
lightly,
was
and I really
pissed.
appreciate the time and the effort and the sacrifice that you
I'm
put
not
into this
surprised
case.
at all.
I want to advise you now of your final instruction. Members, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to thank you for your time and your consideration in this case. I also wish to advise you of some very special privileges enjoyed by jurors.
You don't
No
have to go to
juror
jury
can ever be
service?
required to talk about the discussions that
True.
occurred in the jury room except by court order. For many centuries, our society has relied upon juries for consideration of difficult cases. We have recognized for hundreds of years that a jury's deliberations. Therefore, the law gives you a unique privilege not to speak about the jury's work. Although you are at liberty to speak to anyone about your deliberations, You are also at liberty to refuse to speak to anyone. A request to discuss either your verdict or your deliberations may come from those who are simply curious, from those who might seek to find fault with you, from the media,
That's
from the
an
attorneys,
interesting
or
instruction.
elsewhere. It will be up to you to decide whether to preserve your privacy as a juror. With that, members of the jury, again, I thank you for your service. I'm going to ask you return to the deliberation room. I'll be back there shortly with your jury certificates, and thank you.
I'll be back there shortly. And then we're going to be on the record to set a scheduling date unless he does it now. And he might do it now.
It's so sad.
They had to have prepared her for this when this verdict came back this fast.
Ms. Boone, the jury has spoken in this matter and has found you guilty of murder in the second degree. The court adjudicates you guilty of murder in the second degree. As this is your first felony conviction, you are entitled to a pre-sentencing investigation by the Department of Corrections. Mr. Owens, are you seeking that in this case?
Yes.
Okay.
That'll take some time.
State, I will order the Department of Corrections to prepare the
PSR.
pre-sentencing investigation.
There's the box
State,
that
for the
the
purposes of sentencing,
suitcase
do you anticipate
was in.
eliciting any testimony from, be it the victim's family?
2 or 3 victim impact statements, sir.
Okay. Mr. Owens, do you plan on presenting any evidence during the course of the sentencing hearing, sir?
Probably some testimony from Dr. Harper.
Okay, all right. How long do you think,
I'll
state,
answer
that you would
questions
need?
after this.
You mean timing-wise, or are we thinking?
A quantum of time, sir. Yeah, well, normally it takes about 30 days or so.
Quantum of
I'm
time.
conferring with Anita as to availability. I just want to know from your side of the ledger, how much time? Okay, 15 minutes. How much time do you think you're going to need to produce anything from your side of the ledger, sir? Mr. Owens?
I'd say 30 minutes.
Okay.
30 to 45.
So if we set this for an hour, that would be sufficient.
Pardon me.
He's going to talk for 45
Is that sufficient,
minutes
Mr. Owens?
to try to convince them
Okay, all right, give me a
to
moment.
give her
So
some
they're trying to
leniency.
find a
She took the
date
man's life.
more
The man
than 30
is
days
dead.
out where they have an
His
hour.
3 daughters,
The PSI
fatherless.
is done by probation parole department, and it evaluates the crime. Sarah Boone, they interview her. We see it in quite a lot of cases. So it's a report that's conducted by the department recommendation, either by memorandum or verbally in court. They will have 2 to 3
Mr. Rios
victim
is
impact
checking.
statements.
Just give us a moment.
They said 15 minutes. It's 22 and a half years. Her maximum is life. For those of you asking what she is facing, her minimum sentence is 22 and a half years. Her maximum is life.
We
So
can
the
set this matter
judge
for
has that
1:30 in the
range.
afternoon for sentencing on December 2. State, is that acceptable?
All right.
Sure enough. Bitch ain't got nowhere to go anyhow.
I just hearing, but I'll make it work.
I can move it to later if necessary.
I'm co-counsel on it.
So, yeah,
Okay, defense.
Give me 1 minute.
Yes, sir.
I saw a
That's
couple.
Monday, December 2 at 1:30.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I can be here.
All right. Sentencing
that's
will
Ma'am,
be
you've been adjudicated
December.
That's
guilty.
George's
I know.
family
Remand
there.
you into the custody of the Orange County Jail pending sentencing on December 2 at 1:30.
Children,
State, anything else
brother,
we need to address?
Mother.
Now for the state.
Defense. All right, thank you very much. We're off the record.
She will stay in jail until she is sentenced, and then will be transferred to the prison. So that is the end. That was exactly 6 days of evidence. The opening statement started last Friday, closing arguments this Friday, and they convicted in under an hour and a half. Time to eat dinner, time to discuss the case, and then they are going to talk to the judge, and then the jury will be able. Sarah agrees. I still think Sarah Boone is going to see this as everyone. Again, I see a lot of you saying Sarah should have taken the plea deal. I don't think Sarah agrees. I still think Sarah Boone is going to. They are going to talk to the judge, and then the jury will be able to leave and decide what they want to do. Again, I see a lot of you saying Sarah should have taken the plea
She
deal. I
shoulda.
don't think Sarah agrees. I still
She would
think
have 7
Sarah Boone is
years.
going to see this as everyone doesn't understand. Nobody understands. Nobody sees it the way she does. And I don't know
Yeah.
if that impression will change. I appreciate it.
All right.
No
So
tickers.
there she's got the
Yay.
chain around her.
But
And off
Sarah
she
Boone